celebrated some of the best-loved children's books, including Room on the Broom, Zog, Stickman and, of course, the Gruffalo.
Author Julia Donaldson and illustrator Axel Scheffler are teaming up once again for a brand new story called
The Baddies.
The Baddies. In a few minutes, they've got a little bit of a drawing challenge for us. First, though, we'll talk about the new book. And it's lovely to meet you both. Thank you for coming in today. UK's #1 author and illustrator for the last decade, outsold J.K. Rowling and David Walliams. It is an amazing team that you have here. And it's, I think, next year you're celebrating your 30th anniversary as a working partnership. How did you meet? How did it start?
Well, actually, the publishers just found out. This first book was a song, really, a squash and a squeeze, and then the words of my song were going to be made into a book, and the publisher kind of produced Axel, who did a very good job, but we didn't meet each other till after the book was published, did we? Yeah.
And is it because you were initially that songwriter that's where the rhyming came from?
That's very much the case, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So how does it work then, sort of between the two of you? I mean, obviously you come up with the right. So, for example, with the Baddies, so the story is there, that's already existing in full, and then you give it to Axel to illustrate.
Well, there's a publisher in between. We never sort of actually meet.
Oh, really?
I give it to the publisher.
And they send it on to me, and then I have to decide, do I want to illustrate it or not? And then usually I say yes.
I'm biting my fingernail.
We never have direct contact when we're working on a book. It's always via the editor. They keep us apart.
That's so funny, because I think that when you're writing something, do you not have images in your head of what they look like? I mean, with Gruffalo, for example, because obviously so much of the language was in that was a description, you know, his sort of water on the end of his nose, all of those things.
Yeah, well, all of those things, of course, Axel has to do. He has to do the work, but then he's free to do other things. I think I imagine the Gruffalo more exotic or from outer space or like I don't know, but as soon as I saw Axel's Gruffalo, I knew
that was it.
Yeah. So do you, Axel, when you see the print and it comes through to you and you know you're working with this blank canvas and you are essentially sort of creating the visual aspect of the characters, do you push it beyond what Julia's written?
Yes, I think if it would be just what's in the text, I think it would be maybe not enough. And so my job, I think, as an illustrator is to add something that is not in the text, because it would be boring if it would just be
So you
exactly
said
what's...
a moment ago that, you know, you see it and you decide whether you want to do it. Have there been things that you have decided you didn't want to do?
I think once or twice in our long, almost 30 years.
But we've had about 24 books published, so that's
pretty good going, isn't it?
Because the thing is, I think if Axel doesn't really rate the story and really want to do it at the beginning, by the time he's done all these drafts and all the work he has to do, he'd probably hate it. You know, I think is that fair to say? You've got to love it.
Probably.
Did you still go ahead with it though, even though Axel has said I'm not going to illustrate this? Did you still go ahead with the project?
Do you know, I can't even remember what those occasions were.
Yeah.
Really.
What's so lovely about a children's book, and especially for someone like you both who've had such great success in this, is that little time just before bed when you sit down and you share a story. I mean, these have been so part of my life with my own children, and it must be lovely to know you're part of that for so many people. What a special thing.
It is a very special thing.
Yeah.
And I sometimes think or perhaps I get more credit than Isma do, because the parents love their children, that they make up any sort of rows they've had in the daytime. They have this nice together time, and you sneak in there with your book, and they think they love you as well. So it's very nice.
It's part of, like, the Gruffalo was part of my family.
Well, it was always the best part, the lovely part of the day with our girls was reading to them reading the story, and at that stage when they were younger, there were always amazing illustrations, and then it was finding things within the illustrations as well if they wanted to carry it on. So both the beautiful, you know, so that marriage of words and pictures, and for you with the Baddies here, and it is a lovely story because it came out of essentially a sort of children's drama group.
Yeah, that's right. There were some local children who they were having a kind of like a mystery role play game where I think some adults were acting Cruella de Vil and various other bad characters from fiction, and the children had to work out which one had stolen a Julia Donaldson manuscript. So that was the scenario, and I just loved that idea of these rival baddies. I thought it was time to have a baddie in a book, because I tend to alternate, is there a baddie or not? And the last book, The Smeds and the Smooths, didn't have a baddie.
That's very sweet.
So I thought, why not have 3 baddies?
Yeah, why not? Now, you're going to do something which many have said couldn't be done. You're going to attempt to teach us how to draw the Gruffalo.
I can do a little demonstration because
OK, we're going to grab a pen and we're going to try and keep up with you.
Oh,
So
Axel, please don't be disappointed.
go slow.
Shall I use that or this?
You use that.
Here.
We're going to use this.
OK, oh, you're all going to draw?
We're going to try.
OK, that's a very good idea.
Right.
So I hope I can do it without covering too much. So I always start at the top, so...
Those are like his eerie, horny things.
Yes, and when I do school visits, at this point I ask the children, what is this? And they say it's a Gruffalo, and then I say, shall I stop? And they say, no, carry on. So I would do the ears, furry ears, and then I do the orange eyes, and then again, when I do school visits, I ask, do you want a friendly one or a scary one? They always say it's scary. So I have to do the eyebrows.
Julia, can you draw?
I doodle, you know. I like drawing.
Poisonous wart at the end of his nose.
Don't go too fast, Axel.
I'm too fast?
Well, just for me.
I thought we only have 3 minutes.
Well, we do, but
Tusks?
sometimes the competition in this...
OK, I do a bit.
Oh, no, my eyes aren't very good.
You can catch up when he gets onto the arms and legs.
Yes, the body will. And I can see that I start too far to the right, so it's going to be probably a slim Gruffalo, slim Gruffalo. So whiskers, we've got the terrible tusks, we've got the black tongue, which I often forget, we've got the terrible teeth, and now we have the terrible jaws.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I can't, I'm sort of getting
Where are
lost now.
you?
Mine's looking more cow-like.
It is quite cow-like, I think.
Is it?
Yeah.
Julia, is that
Yeah,
good?
that's
Sort of
good.
buffalo,
quite good.
Gruffalo.
Oh, well, he hasn't got any eyeballs. Oh, no, he looks like Bully the Bull. Do you remember?
So now we have time to...
Yours is
Sorry, I
really
need to kneel
good.
down now.
Yours is really good.
The arms, now you've got time to catch up. When I do the fur.
Oh, no, what have I done with
Big
the jaws?
claws.
Big tongue. Oh, you're very fast.
You two are going to end
Am I
up
too
with
fast?
head and shoulders.
Yeah, I'm running out of paper. I'm going to run out of paper, aren't I?
I think so.
Yeah, it's you see,
Have you got a task?
I got my positioning wrong of the Gruffalo. So then big belly. Again, I let the children decide, do you want a slim Gruffalo? Do you want a fat Gruffalo? They always go for the big belly.
How's the... oh, yeah, mine's... Oh, yours is really good. You've got a tummy, and I've definitely gone too big here.
And then...
Was it... Because I know initially, Julia, the Gruffalo wasn't the Gruffalo going to be a tiger? And nothing rhymed with tiger.
Oh, tiger, right. So, that's right, yes. Nothing wrong with tiger. The mouse was going to boast that he was going to meet a tiger. And I did have a couplet, actually. He ought to know, he really should, there aren't any tigers in this wood. But I wasn't very happy with that. I said to my husband, supposing I made up an imaginary creature, then it could rhyme with whatever I like. Do you think that's a good idea instead of the tiger?
Yeah.
He said, no, keep the tiger.
Oh, wow.
So I totally
Do you know
disobeyed him.
the animation when the music that goes along with that is like some of my favourite piece of music.
He's
It's
a brilliant
so
composer. He's a French composer,
Yeah.
and actually, I don't think he reads music. He just composes
Feels
it.
It's
and,
so
yeah.
lovely. It's such a beautiful piece of music.
I've
What do you
run
think?
out of space at the bottom of mine now,
Yeah.
Axel, but there you go.
Takes a lot of... That's very good. They're both good. Yes, but the
Proportions are all wrong.
Both of your Gruffalos look a bit suspicious, like they're
Yeah.
looking very suspicious.
positioning on the page, we still
You're
have to
lucky
work
that they
on.
even look like a Gruffalo.
I think if you asked 10 people what that is, which character that is, they'd say Gruffalo. And that's quite
Yeah.
good for 2 people that can't draw. It does look a bit like Bully Ball, doesn't
Yes, it does.
Do a bit of...
Oh, no! Yes, my Gruffalo is very good at dance. 180.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you very much. Here is the book. This is the brand new one. Parents will sigh of relief that there's new reading material. The Baddies, there you go. That's for your bedtime. Thank you so much.
Lovely
Thank
to meet
you.
you.
Lovely to
Thank
meet
you.
you.
Thank you so much.
Right.